The next new feature is actually a refinement of a feature that has been there for quite a while, and that is the quick entry feature. So let's go up to the MindNode menu, go to Settings, and make sure that quick entry is available by clicking to launch this at login. And while we're here, let's also set a keyboard hotkey to quickly access the MindNode quick entry window. I'm going to use Control-Option-Shift-Command-Y. Okay, let's close the settings and let's close this mind map here. So here we are at our desktop. You can see the MindNode quick entry icon in the upper right in the menu bar. And if we click on this, it gives us a scratch pad where we can capture things in bullet list form and turn them into a mind map when we're done. So let's say we want to capture something for that creativity flywheel sketch that we just jotted down. Let's label this first main node as the creativity flywheel. This is the node that's going to be in the very center of our mind map. And then by hitting enter, it will create another node below that, which is going to be colored blue. And let's just real quickly create 5 different nodes for the 5 different steps of the creativity flywheel. Step 1 is capture. Step 2 is curate. Step 3 is cultivate. Step 4 is connect. And step 5 is create. Okay, so when we're done, it looks something like this. Now, usually when you're using the quick entry, you're capturing things in bits and pieces. So let's say this was the ending point of my first session with the quick entry window. Let's just click on our desktop here to close it. And then let's trigger it again, but this time let's use that keyboard shortcut. So I'll use Control-Option-Shift-Command-Y to open up quick entry. It takes me straight to that last bullet. And this time let's add some additional details under each one of these nodes. So let's use the arrow keys to go up to the top, hit enter, and then hit tab to nest a bullet underneath this first node. So under step 1 capture, let's add an additional detail here. Capture what resonates or what piques your curiosity. All right, now we can hit enter to create a new node, or we can hit the down arrow to navigate down next to the next main node, which in this case is step 2 curate. Hit enter and then hit tab again to nest this bullet underneath that node. And again, let's add an additional detail. Only keep the really good stuff. Okay, again, let's go down to step 3, hit enter, hit tab, and add an additional detail here. Give it time to develop. Let's do the same thing for the last 2 nodes here. Step 4, connect. We'll say connect your ideas with the others that you've collected. And step 5, create. There needs to be an output. Okay, so once you've captured everything that you want via the quick entry window, then you can easily create your document by clicking the Create Document button. The gear icon right here is how you would quit quick entry if you really wanted to, and the Create Document button closes quick entry and creates a new mind map file based on the contents that were in your quick entry window. Once you do this, the contents of the quick entry window reset, so it's blank and ready to go for next time. So this is a real efficient way to create new mind maps as you need them. And then from here, we can just rename the file by clicking on the file name at the top here. Right now it's called mind map. Let's change this to the creativity flywheel instead. And then one additional new feature we need to look at is the ability to edit themes. So with MindNode Next, you can actually make your own theme based on the display options for your current mind map. So there are certain things that you need to have in your mind map in order to effectively make a theme from it. You need at least 6 different main nodes. So let's title this My MindNode Theme. Then hit tab to create node 1, hit enter to create node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5, and node 6. I'm going to drag node 6, node 5, and node 4 over to the left side of the main node here in the middle. Now, a quick aside here, one of the features that was added to MindNode Next that isn't in MindNode Classic is the ability to position these nodes exactly where you want them. So for example, if I hold the Option key and then drag node 5, I can position it exactly where I want it in my MindNode file. This overrides the kind of auto cleanup that happens when you move things around. But if I decide I no longer want this, then I can just drag this back and snap it into the place where it would normally fit in this mind map, like so. And then the other thing we need is a connection between different nodes. So let's go to node 6, right click, create connection, and connect this to node 1. Okay, so here's our connection. We can drag this dot in the middle to adjust the curve of this connection. And now if we go into the display options, we can change the style of the different things that are a part of this theme. So this connection, for example, is using a dotted line, but if I wanted a dashed line instead, we could just click this button and it's going to make that change in the MindNode file itself. It's going to use that as the template for the new theme that we're going to create. We can also change the width by bumping this up. Let's make this 2 points. And then we can change the color and the font options for these nodes as well. So node 1 is kind of this burnt orange. I don't really love this. So let's actually change this to one of the saved colors in my color picker here on macOS. And then let's change this from Helvetica to SF Pro Display. So that changed just that single node. And if I created a template right now, it would apply those changes for node 1, but it would keep all of the other nodes the same. So let's select all of these and let's change the font here. Let's select SF Pro Display so they're all consistent. And then let's change the text color from this dark gray to solid black. Okay, there's the connection options at the bottom there, and this is basically everything that we need to know about this particular style that we have selected here for the different elements in our mind map. All right, so that's pretty good. Now we can also change the layout here. We can change the shape of the curves here. We can also change the decreasing thickness. Changing it to 1 point I don't really like, so let's change this back to auto. And then we can change the layout so instead of the nodes appearing on the sides, they appear on the top and bottom.